You're looking at pictures of pro-democracy protesters and police scuffling outside a news conference in Hong Kong given by a Chinese official a day after Beijing's decision on how Hong Kong should elect its leader. I'm Deborah Khan. Joining me now is the former Chief Secretary of Hong Kong, Anson Chan. So what is your response to this NPC decision to really hold back the timetable for democracy in Hong Kong?
I think it's a thoroughly bad decision all around. For the SAR government, it means that governance in future will be even more difficult. This government has lost what little credibility it still has in the eyes of the Hong Kong people. This whole thing has been a farce and a sham from start to finish. We went through a supposedly public consultation. The CE submitted a report to the Standing Committee, which is a gross distortion of public sentiment. So government is going to find itself in very, very deep waters. For the public at large, you can see that most people have lost hope in Beijing delivering on its promise to the people of Hong Kong. So I'm afraid you're going to see more street protests. Occupy Central will definitely take place, and there will be a long, prolonged period of non-cooperation with the government. And finally, for our country as a whole and for Beijing, Beijing has shown its true colors. It's sending a very clear message to the people of Hong Kong. We don't trust you to select the chief executive, so we are determined to control the outcome 100%.
Okay, but you're calling for really a more moderate approach, not the one man, one vote.
True, not only my organization, but many others, particularly from the academic field, have put forward moderate proposals that are fully compliant with the basic law. It's an attempt to try and broker a compromise solution, but every single one of these proposals have been rejected by Beijing. So what this means is that you've cut the ground from below our feet. What more can we say to the Hong Kong public? So I'm afraid public sentiments are going to harden, but it doesn't mean that Hong Kong people will give up their fight for genuine democracy.
So what do you think should happen next? I mean, you basically have the Hong Kong government and you have China saying that this is how the next election should take place. So what, in your opinion, could the next move be?
Well, with this very rigid framework, it doesn't seem to me that there is any further room for negotiation, much less trying to reach a consensus. So I think the next step is for the SAR government to convince the people of Hong Kong, is there any point in taking part in the second stage consultation, because there seems to be nothing to talk about. So the first thing the SAR government must do is to say why it's still meaningful to continue this dialogue.
Okay, and a lot of people say perhaps the Occupy Central tactics are a bit too dramatic. What is your opinion? I mean, is that really the only resort left?
Civil disobedience is a common phenomenon in most democracies elsewhere. The architects of Occupy Central have stressed time and again it's going to be peaceful. But this government is bent on demonizing the entire movement. But with this very, very rigid framework that gives us no choice in the selection of candidates, you cannot blame people for feeling that taking to the streets and participating in civil disobedience is at least one way forward.
Why should people outside care about what's going on in Hong Kong right now?
Because Hong Kong is an international city. We have foreign investments. We have foreign nationals living here. Because the rest of the world should pay close attention to China's commitment to international treaty obligations. If it walks away from the joint declaration, which is an international treaty that it signed with Beijing, what does this say about China's commitment to all the other international treaties that they've entered with the rest of the world?
But then you have the pro-business contingent here saying, well, all we really want is stability.
Yes, so the business community should ask themselves, is this a way to achieve stability? Far from achieving stability, by reneging on your promise to the people of Hong Kong, you are running a real risk of prolonged instability in Hong Kong. And also, any chief executive elected through this rigged election system will not enjoy credibility. So this government will find it increasingly difficult to govern Hong Kong.
Okay, and you, of course, with your experience, served under British and also the post-handover government under Tung Chee-hwa. At that time, Did you think that Hong Kong would be farther along?
No. If you asked me on the 1st of July 1997 whether one country, two systems will remain alive and well, my answer would have been yes, because I sincerely believed in the commitments of the two signatories to the joint declaration. I don't think any one of us expected the rate of deterioration in the undermining of two systems, the undermining of the rule of law and our rights and freedoms to have progressed at such a fast pace.
In your opinion, what should be the schedule for democracy right now?
Well, for Beijing to deliver on its promise to the people of Hong Kong, which is in 2017, we can genuinely exercise our right to elect our future leader.
Okay, thanks very much, Mrs. Chan.
Thank you.